like a friend, that it then becomes quite a natural consequence that children would turn to it for comfort that feels easy, that feels personalized, and that might feel even like a safer or more non-judgmental space.
Okay, but when a chatbot tells a child something like, "I miss you when you're gone" or something, I mean, it sounds fairly harmless. But what's happening in that child's mind that parents should understand and that may pose an actual threat?
That's a really important point. So, we do know that children are still developing their ideas of the world and working out the boundaries between what's real and what's not. So, when a chatbot appears to have human like feelings, to care about the child user, that can be extremely risky. So, for parents, for educators, for families, a key thing to think about is the difference between safe design and risky design. A safe, child friendly design for a chatbot might include disclaimers like, I'm a computer, not a person, or I'm a helper, not a friend. And it might regularly encourage the child to step away and prioritize human interaction, to maybe escalate more serious concerns to a parent, to a caregiver, to speak to a trusted adult. But a risky design is one that encourages dependence, or to act as an authority figure or give advice that's not moderated about sensitive issues like relationships or self image.
Yeah, and I mean it's hard enough for many adults to sort of make that distinguishing, I guess, between reality and the fact that they're talking to a bot. We've seen people, adults, engaging with inappropriate, sexual relationships and so on with chatbots. But for young people, I mean, we've seen troubling cases where they've turned to these bots not just for comfort, for advice about self harm or suicide. What does developmental science tell us about why kids might be vulnerable to this kind of harmful interaction?
Absolutely. That is a real risk that demands urgent protections. And one thing I like to emphasize is that children are AI's most vulnerable stakeholders, but also it's often its most forgotten stakeholders. Children often end up not only being early adopters of a technology, but using tools that are essentially designed for adults without child specific protections being built in. And it's helpful to think about the specific vulnerabilities depending on age as well. So, for these kinds of high risk scenarios, for a young child who's still working out the boundaries between reality and fantasy, a key risk might be that they don't understand that the chatbot they're speaking to isn't literally a person. A 6 year old is very likely to think that a chatbot has feelings. On the other hand, a teenager might be working out bigger questions around identity or belonging. They might be feeling socially isolated or worried about a friendship struggle or being bullied or feeling pressure to fit in. And so we might imagine a 15-year-old staying up late at night to talk to a chatbot and not literally believing it's a person, but finding it a safe space to work through more emotionally complex feelings. So the risks look quite different for different age groups, and so protection isn't a one size fits
Yeah.
all, but it really has to be tailored to different ages.
Yeah, and we'll expect the FTC to look at some of these issues. In the meantime, we only have about 30 seconds left, but this is vital for all those parents who are watching out there who might be worried listening to all of this about their kids using AI chatbots. What is your main advice for parents out there?
I would say that safe design is ultimately good design. That is always great for parents to not only look into child friendly chatbots, but if they are considering having their child engage in an age appropriate way with AI, but really to open up that dialogue with your child, to prioritize having that transparent conversation about what AI is and isn't, both the benefits and the limits.
Yeah. Great advice. Really appreciate this. This is a challenge that's not going away anytime soon. Nomashat Korean, thank you so much.